Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to another edition of Coffee and Sports in the Morning. I'm one of the people. Hey, I'm just here. I'm sitting in for my boy Chris, my brother from another mother. Hopefully, he'll be back with us. What, Friday?
Chris is Monday, Tuesday now.
Okay.
Mo is out today, so I'm sitting in for Mo. Mo is having a little internet connectivity issues, but we got Gene and Will I Am, the NFL genius, and Will bringing you Coffee and Sports this morning.
Yes.
I'm fired up. I'm ready to rock and roll. How are you feeling?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. So
I got my coffee in my WrestleMania mug.
I just got done with my Santa Claus mug.
Yeah, baby.
There you go.
Come on, bro. You got to step your mug game up.
I do.
We got a lot to get into today. Going to talk about the NFL playoffs as they continue. You heard Chris and Mo's opinion about it Monday, Tuesday. Me and Will have opinions also. Big football game's going to happen this weekend on Sunday, 3 o'clock, 6:30. You got a rematch of one of the best football games I've ever watched in my entire life. Buffalo Bills, Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead. So we'll find out how that plays out. The Philadelphia Eagles survive in advance.
Yes.
They're still here.
Yes.
Snow games, turnovers, injuries, Jalen's this and Jalen's that. Versus quite possibly the best rookie year quarterback we've ever seen in Jaden Daniels. Going into Detroit, winning in the Lions' den, putting up 45 points. That was a shocker.
Not to me.
A lot to get into there with football. But we want to start with the MLB Baseball Hall of Fame. Yesterday, 3 winners were announced. 3 electees were announced to the Hall of Fame. Billy Wagner got in probably like 5th or 6th try.
Yeah.
And then on the first try, CC Sabathia and Ichiro Suzuki got in. Other nominees that fell short next year could be Carlos Beltran's year. He was really, really close.
Really close.
We'll obviously talk about that. But where I want to start this conversation, Will, and where I think the part that most intrigues me is Ichiro Suzuki should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Should have been unanimous.
Unanimous first ballot Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
And he was 1 vote shy of the unanimous Hall of Fame bid. Your thoughts on that?
I just want to know who the person is who didn't vote.
Bro, this happens all the time in baseball, man.
It's just terrible.
There's only one unanimous first ballot Hall of Famer, and it's been Mariano Rivera.
Mm-hmm. Well deserved, by the way.
Derek Jeter was 1 vote shy. I think Ken Griffey Jr. was 7 votes shy. I just don't know how that happens.
Me neither. I don't get it either.
Bothersome.
It really is. And like, you go back
you need to be able to put you need to be able to put the writers' names out there so they can be like, why did you do this?
Oh, yeah.
The fact that it's unanimous drives me nuts. Yeah, well, I'm sorry.
You're good. Kind of like all these congressmen that voted to ban TikTok, got their names out there, put that down on public public scrutiny. We need to do that with these guys. That's just ridiculous. Go back and watch Suzuki play. Even if you only go up to his Mariner days, go watch the man play. He deserves it.
Ichiro's just different, bro. He was a different breed and should be a unanimous first ballot Hall of Famer. Just like Derek Jeter should have been, just like Ken Griffey Jr. should have been. There are certain guys, and like this happens in football too, right? Tom Brady will be a unanimous first ballot Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it'll be, right?
Yep.
I don't know.
It's just crazy to me. It's just crazy for him not to have that extra vote. And like I would love to know who it is so we can put this person on blast. It ain't gonna happen, but I'd love to know who it is.
What's up, Ruth? Just checking in.
Hey, Ruth.
We do have Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Check out Wire to Wire Sports Podcast. The live show is 7 p.m. tonight, Eastern Standard Time. But check that out on Spotify. And then Kyle checking in. The one Jeter voter deserves an award. I get it. You're a Red Sox fan. I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you, but I get your hate.
Yeah.
And I'm glad. I didn't think Kyle had that in him. If I'm being honest with you, I've learned a lot about Kyle. Like, Kyle is one of the nicest human beings you'll ever meet in your life.
Yeah. Ultimate nice guy.
If we're being completely honest, the hate Kyle spews for the Yankees, for the Lakers, and for Lamar Jackson is on another level.
We there with the Lakers. We there. Me and Kyle are there on the Lakers.
But no, I just continuing to talk about the Baseball Hall of Fame. I think this is an unpopular opinion. That's fine. CC Sabathia 100% deserved it, but to see the people that voted for CC Sabathia that didn't vote for Felix Hernandez, King Felix, first ballot Hall of Famer,
too.
Not going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, he only got like 23% of the vote.
Mm-hmm.
When I watched Felix Hernandez play and CC Sabathia play, I thought Felix Hernandez was the better pitcher. I thought Felix Hernandez had the better prime. And if we're talking like giving like an NFL comp, like a running back comp to them, if CC Sabathia was the longtime guy, the Walter Payton of running backs, Felix Hernandez was Barry Sanders. It might have been a shorter
career,
during that time.
Right. Do you think his shorter career got sort of kind of held against him though in this?
Yeah, well, you know what ends up happening is at the end of his career, he had 2 bad years, and that changes his overall numbers. I don't think that should be how Hall of Fame voters look at things, right? When you look at the end of someone's career, when they're hanging on, you're 18, you're 19, or you're 14, 15, their last 2 years of their career, you should be looked at in the Hall of Fame by the prime of your career, how long that prime was, how dominant you were during that prime, not like your career stats. Those careers, like when you look at someone's career ERA and their ERA is lower than lower than CC Sabathia's or higher, because the last 2 years of his career he got bludgeoned because he shouldn't have been pitching anymore.
Yeah,
that shouldn't be held against you. That you played longer than you should have.
Understood.
You disagree with that?
I don't disagree with it at all. I agree, but if we're gonna do it for baseball, then I think that's something we need to do all the way around. In terms of the NFL and NBA as well.
No, but see, in the NFL, it's all cumulative stats. You don't have to worry about that. But put it to you this way, right? And I'll get into it. Linda, I love this, right? Good morning, Gene and William. The writers are worried about death threats from fans if their names are released. This has been debated for years. Well, then don't be a writer for baseball. Don't push somebody not to be in the Hall of Fame. Because you just don't want to make them a unanimous first ballot Hall of Famer. Like that guy is sitting there. I could see him sitting in his house right now, drinking his coffee, twiddling his fingers, like Montgomery Burns. That's who that is, right?
Yes. Kind of like he probably had the dude probably had the how did the generation before us would say it? No one's perfect. Man, get out of here.
He had to get off my lawn mentality.
Get off my lawn mentality. Yeah. Get out of here with that, man.
Just frustrating. And see, you know what comes into play? And I never like to do this because I do it, but I do it all the time. So I guess I should stop saying I never like to do this. But do you think that him being a Japanese ball player had anything to do with that one voter?
I hope not. That was some ESPN talking about. I hope not.
I didn't even hear
in this day and age. I hope not, but like I said, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. I wouldn't be surprised. You hope not, but I wouldn't be surprised in this day and age.
I do want to selfishly ask you a question. I'm going to pull up the Hall of Fame voting. I want to selfishly ask you this question, though, Will.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think, so you're not a Philly guy, right? It's just a Philly question. So you might in your head, you might be like, but I want to hear the outsider's perspective, because in Philly, we think that it should be inevitable. Like this person 100% should get in. But in your mind, outside of Philadelphia, maybe you think it's not that inevitable. Chase Utley moved up to 40% of the vote, 157 votes. Do you think Chase Utley ultimately gets in the Hall of Fame? It's his second-year eligibility. Moved up from 23% to 40%, 157 votes. Outside of Philadelphia, is he looked at as a Hall of Fame player?
I don't think he is outside of Philadelphia.
Okay.
But I'm aware of his numbers and what he did for the game. I think he deserves it. And a lot of these guys, the Veterans Committee might put in too, but that's years down the line, of course. But Yeah, I think Utley will get in eventually. I think he'll get in.
Here's the votes so far. If you want to look at them on the screen, Ichiro Suzuki got 393 of the possible 394 votes. CC Sabathia obviously did really well his first year of eligibility, 342. Billy Wagner makes it in 10th year of eligibility, 325. Carlos Beltran, just 5% away. You need 75% of the votes.
He should get in that. He should get in next go around. He should. Next go around. Because I think I'm sort of kind of look at the Hall of Fame as, don't get me wrong, it's deserved and it's coveted. But I think it's kind of like a show, so to speak. And you want the best of the best to be brought in to have fan interest. So I think that's why Suzuki got in. And again, it was well deserved, don't get me wrong. But I think that Beltran should get in next season. I mean, next go around. He should get in.
I think Beltran gets in next go around. I think Andrew Jones gets in next go around.
He should get in too.
A lot of people don't realize how great of a center fielder he was.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best defensive center fielders I've ever watched play baseball.
He flies under the radar a lot.
100%. And then you have Utley, who's right there and projected to move forward, right? He's moved forward 15% year over year.
Yep.
Then you have the whole, the steroid era. You have Alex Rodriguez, Manny Ramirez. Manny Ramirez, 9th year of eligibility. Alex Rodriguez is 4th. Andy Pettit, who's been linked to that. And then you got my guy, Felix Hernandez, who I just don't understand who the 300 extra voters that voted for CC Sabathia that didn't vote for Felix Hernandez. And then Bobby Abreu, who doesn't deserve to be on here.
I don't think he does either.
Should be higher.
Look at Torrey Hunter.
Dustin Pedroia.
Come on, y'all do Torrey. Y'all got to do my man Torrey Hunter better than that. Come on.
Done. That's it.
Come on, man.
It's 5th year eligibility. He's got
Come on, man. Y'all got to do Torrey Hunter better than that. Come on now. Dang.
These are the people that were dropped off. Most of them are first ballot Hall of Famers that they just wanted to see if they had any 5%. Players receiving less than 5% dropped off future ballots. Anybody on this list you think that should have been that should be on the ballot still? Ian Kinsler, Russell Martin, Brian McCann.
Maybe Adam Jones, but that's the only person that'll have a call for pause.
Okay. I'm going to stop sharing and we'll get back to just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
But like I say, Ichiro deserves it. Sabathia, Wagner, all three of them deserve it. Congrats to those guys. And again, I just want to know and I get it, Linda, that you can't out that person, but like Gene said, don't be in that position then. Don't accept the spot. And you become a public servant, your name is going to be out there. And if something as big as this, your name needs to be known because we need to know who these guys are because we are the public and we sort of kind of put you there as a writer. So we have that right to know who you are, how you voted.
I think that'll be interesting to see. I think that person will come out. I think they can't. They'll be like, well, I'm the guy, and this is why I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Like 15 minutes of fame.
It's the internet. Somebody will figure it out.
Looking very interested to find out. But
heck yeah.
Let's move forward. Just Monday night. We didn't get a chance to talk about me and you didn't get a chance to talk about this yet. Monday night national championship. Notre Dame, Ohio State. Watch the game, front to back. I'll give Ohio State credit. They started that game off and I watched the first drive from Notre Dame and they go up 7-0, right? Mm-hmm. Riley Leonard ran the ball 8 times on their first drive. The quarterback for Notre Dame cannot run the ball 8 times on their first drive. I watched that game and I watched the first drive and 7 Notre Dame. I'm like, that's not sustainable. Even in the first drive, Riley Leonard's gassed. He's out of breath. He's like you could just see it. And you knew he was going to leave it all on the field, but as that game went on, the better team consistently dominated the football.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll say this, the game was over, right? It was 28-10 at one point. Ohio State was winning in the third quarter after they scored that touchdown to start the third quarter. And Chip Kelly got super conservative and allowed Notre Dame to get back in that football game. It became interesting, right?
Yep.
The 2 questions I have about the national championship, Congratulations, Ohio State, 34-23 victory. We'll get into the semantics of it. But at one point, it was 31-15. There was 8.5 minutes left in the game. 4th and goal from the 8-yard line. Notre Dame elected to try to kick a field goal. You're down 16 points with 8.5 minutes left. And they missed a field goal, just to be clear. They elected to kick a field goal on 4th and goal. Did that not remind you of the Packers when they were down 5 points versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the NFC Championship game?
I remember that game.
Field goal?
Yeah. That was a dumb call to me. A field goal does nothing for you. Nothing. Go for the gusto. Go for the gusto. You're down by that many. It's 4-down territory at that point. You're moving the football. I knew Ohio State was going to get this win. They needed it just to keep his damn job. And that's something else. This is the first coach I've ever seen being held to the fire. If you don't win the national championship, you're gone.
I think Ryan Day was safe after beating Tennessee.
Think so?
And then especially after beating Oregon, he was definitely safe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then after beating Texas, he was solidified. It didn't matter what happened in his national championship. He wasn't getting fired. But Ryan Day solidified himself as Ohio State's head coach. You win a national championship, you buy yourself 3-4 years.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter they can't beat Michigan.
Yep.
It doesn't matter, right?
Yep. He definitely solidified his position as the head coach of that football team. Shut a lot of folks up too. And I love it when people shut up ESPN. I love it because he had some enemies over there, i.e. Shannon Sharp was doubting, i.e. Stephen A. Smith was doubting. And he shut both of them up. So that was a good thing to see. I thought Notre Dame was going to make a run late. But when I saw they were going for a field goal instead of going for the gusto for that touchdown, nah.
So I'll get to the point where it was 31-23. Notre Dame had scored a touchdown, made the 2-point conversion. It's 31-23. First down, they run a QB run with Will Howard. Notre Dame stuffs it out. Loss of you one. Second down, they run a QB run with Will Howard. Notre Dame shuts it down. It's 3rd and 11. There's 2 minutes and change left on the clock. Notre Dame's using their timeouts. They have 1 timeout left. 3rd and 11. And I don't know in what world you're Ohio State, you don't throw the ball in 3rd and 11. But Notre Dame just kept sending the blitz. They sent the blitz. They left Jeremiah Smith one-on-one on the outside, and Will Howard threw a dime right over the corner of the shoulder, perfect into Jeremiah Smith's hands. And I kind of want to get your opinion on this because I think that these 2 wide receivers that we're watching in this class, Jeremiah Smith and even Ryan Williams from down in Alabama, these true freshman wide receivers are 2 of the best receivers in the nation.
Yep.
We'll get to Ryan Williams in a second, but perfect thrown. Throw it to Jeremiah Smith. He's down there somewhere. He's open somewhere. That was the icing on the cake. 3rd and 11, you're Notre Dame. You got to make sure you're double teaming their best wide receiver.
Yeah.
You can't allow that to happen.
You got to let somebody else beat you other than their best wide receiver, and they didn't do it. You could have bracketed that. You could have bracketed it with a safety if you needed to.
They double covered them half the game, Will.
Yeah.
I don't know why you blitz on 3rd and 11 there. I don't know what the thought process is blitzing on 3rd and 11 there. But that's not for here nor there.
That's craziness.
They win the game. They kicked the field goal with like 30 seconds left. They win the game by 11. That was it, right?
That was it. That was craziness. If Notre Dame would have won, it would have been a better story, I think. But end of the day, Ohio State took it, and they deserved it. Better team won.
I do want to ask you the one question, and this is me being me, right?
Mm.
And I don't want to be this guy, right? But this is me being me.
Mm.
Gene's always been this guy, and I've always tried to project things long before they happen.
Mm.
5 years ago, or 4 years ago, when Wire to Wire started, I said Patrick Mahomes doesn't have an NFL comp.
Mm.
His comp is Michael Jordan.
Mm.
He's like something we've never seen before.
Mm.
I was laughed at. I was yelled at. I was told I was an idiot. Now you can hear that statement and not think that that's crazy to say that, right? The guy's got 3 Super Bowls already.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like this is he's going for a 3-peat, which would be 4 Super Bowls.
Yep.
6 years into his NFL career. That's something that we can easily talk about, right?
Yep.
Okay. I think Ryan Williams and Jeremiah Smith are going to be 2 of the top 10 greatest wide receivers in the NFL history. Jeremiah Smith might be the greatest wide receiving prospect to ever come out of Ohio State. He's a true freshman, and he dominates. Yes. And that includes Marvin Harrison, Chris Olave, that includes Michael Thomas, that includes a long list of Garrett Wilson, a long list of wide receivers that come out of Ohio State. And Jeremiah Smith might be the best one ever.
He might be the best one in terms of physical traits, speed, dominance at his position from his athletic standpoint. I'm not going to say greatest of all time yet because I want to see where he gets drafted. What system is he put into? What coach did he have? What coach does he have to deal with?
I'm going to project early. I'm going to project, bro. So I'm going to project he goes to the right situation. You look at Malik Neighbors' situation, right? He didn't go to the best situation.
He didn't. He
walked out looking like the best receiver in the country, did not.
He did. Kudos to him. Kudos to him and dealing with Daniel Jones and that cluster over there with the Giants.
Jeremiah Smith, and I just want to reiterate this. He's 19 years old. He just turned 19 less than 2 months ago. He was 18 for the majority of this season. He's 6'3", 215 pounds, and runs like a 4.4, 4.3 40.
From a physical athletic standpoint, I would agree. From a physical athletic standpoint. Like I said, I just want to, because you projected he's in the right situation, I just want to make sure that before I give him more than that.
Okay, so I'm going to go over to Ryan Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Williams, and this is crazy for what it's worth, he could be the best Alabama wide receiver ever. 5-star recruit. You know how old Ryan Williams is? Do you know how old he is? Right now.
Mm-mm.
He's 17 years old.
Dang.
Right now.
Mm-hmm.
His birthday is February 7th. It's in 2 weeks from now. He played his freshman season as the number 1 wide receiver for Alabama at 17 years old. Go back and watch the Georgia game.
Mm-hmm.
He was unguardable. Ryan Williams and Jeremiah Smith will be talked about in the same era. Do you remember the A.J. Green, Julio Jones class?
I do.
I think their class will be better.
And he'd be better than that?
I do. I really believe that.
Loved A.J. Green back in the day.
Right?
But yeah, like I said, I just want to, from physical traits, physical standpoint, 4.4 40s, height, weight, everything like that, all the physical attributes, yeah, these guys are above the rest. That's for sure over the other wide receivers in the nation. Like I said, when they get drafted, I just want to see where they go. Make sure they're in the right situation to help their talent and make sure that they get developed to where they can be what they should. That's the only call for Paul.
Physical traits, though. Ryan Williams is 6'1", 175. He does not have.
But the thing about it, though, look at the speed.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Ooh, look at the speed. Ooh, he might not be prototypical, so to speak, but we haven't seen that kind of speed in a while.
As a 17-year-old freshman at Alabama, he had 48 receptions for 865 yards and 8 touchdowns.
Heesh. He'll probably he may end up being successful because of his speed and his route running. Those are probably his 2 strengths. That's probably his 2 claim to fame in the NFL. Route running and speed.
His coming out party was versus Georgia, one of the top teams in the nation. He had 6 receptions, 177 yards.
Route running and speed. Route running and speed.
Let's move forward. Talked about the national championship. Talked about Major League Baseball, Hall of Fame voting. The Patriots have hired Josh McDaniels to be their offensive coordinator. Can I get your initial reaction to that? Josh McDaniels back with New England. The whole gang's back together. You got Rabel, you got Josh McDaniels.
This dude just won't go away. He just won't go away. He's like a bad disease. He just won't go away. He just won't sit down. But it makes sense. It makes sense to bring him in. At least he's not a head coach. He's doing so that's the good part. That's the good thing. He's going to a position where that's his strength. And the Patriots are so far away. They are more than just a draft pick away. They need so much. They need line. You need receiver help. Ramondre Stevenson is a year older yet again. The Patriots need so much. But in terms of this hire,
people have mocked Travis Hunter going there. That helps them with wide receiver. A lot of people have mocked Travis Hunter going there. They have that essentially helps them at wide receiver and corner. If you think he plays both ways in the NFL,
I don't think he plays both though. That's kind of tough because you're telling me that he's gonna play receiver up against a best corner, and then go against corner and play against the best receiver at times. That's tough. That's tough. So if you put him at corner, he goes against Tyreek Hill. What you gonna do?
I think Tyreek Hill would shred him.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, it's a rookie. He's a rookie. Mm-hmm. I think he's very good.
Tough to do.
But I will say this though. I think Travis Hunter is the best corner in this class. I don't think he's the best receiver in this class, but I think he's the best corner in this class.
I agree, and that might be his claim, and that might end up being his claim to fame.
I think
he's that corner and go for broke. But the Patriots need.
My man Cottrell's in there.
He said the Browns, but the Patriots need. The Patriots need so much. They need so much. But Travis Hunter would be a good start. But
ESPN's mock does have Travis Hunter going 2 to the Cleveland Browns.
I won't be mad at that.
All right. Well, let's.
I won't be mad at that. I might, but with the Browns though, would you put him at corner or quarterback? Knowing your situation.
See, I agree with that.
With Deshaun Watson.
I agree with what Cottrell just said. I think he'll play both ways. I think he'll play full-time defense and about 15 to 20 plays on offense.
Gadget guy on offense.
A little bit more of a Deion Sanders type when Deion would play both ways, where he'd play full-time corner and then he'd be on there for gadget plays.
Yeah.
I think Travis will be on there a little bit more than gadget plays, but very simple.
Yeah. You can do that. We can do that. But if he did go to the Browns, would you put him at QB knowing your situation with Deshaun Watson being hurt again?
You mean put Travis Hunter above a quarterback? Is that what you're
asking? Put him at quarterback because Jameis you'll probably keep Jameis. And
you're not saying play Travis Hunter quarterback, right? He doesn't play quarterback.
No, I'm saying no. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I apologize. I just misheard you. I would probably play him both ways. I would.
My bad.
What Cottrell said. I would play him as full-time corner, opposite Denzel Ward, and I would play him as a wide receiver for 15, 20 plays. I agree with 100% what Cottrell said.
You think the Browns managed to hold on to Myles Garrett? I know he wants to get out of there.
I don't think he wants to. I think he wants to win.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that he's not happy with the way they win. But that's just
can't be
my opinion. We'll talk about that a little bit more. I'll ask Cottrell that tonight. I know he knows a little bit more about the Browns than I will. But do want to move on to Ben Johnson being named the head coach of the Chicago Bears. What's your thoughts on that? Ben Johnson, offensive guru, Detroit Lions, offensive court. Detroit's already getting their coordinators ransacked, right?
Mm-hmm.
The defensive line coach has just been named the Patriots defensive coordinator.
You know Aaron Glenn's going to be gone.
What'd you say?
You know Aaron Glenn's going to be gone at some point.
I don't know that. I don't think he will. I think that NFC divisional game probably cost him a job.
Think so?
I do.
Because I know the Jets are still. I know the Jets and Saints are still looking at him.
Yeah, I think the Jets hire Rex Ryan. I think the Saints, Cottrell thinks Joe Brady. I think Brian Flores, but I think Rex Ryan is the next coach of the Jets. I truly believe that. I don't care how weird that sounds.
But as far as Ben Johnson goes, I think it's a good hire. I don't know if it's the right hire yet, but I think it's a good hire.
It's 100% the right hire.
He's in a better situation than he would have been with the Saints or the Jets, I think, because you have a young quarterback. You got some cap space to go out and grow that to make that team better. So I think that it's a good hire. Don't know if it's the right hire yet, but I think it's a good hire.
Me and you are going to disagree there. I know it's the right hire. And I think what Ben Johnson's going to do is exactly what Detroit did. And he's going to spend all his capital improving that offensive line to protect Caleb. You already have the wide receivers there.
Yes.
Moore, Keenan Allen, even
yes.
though you're older. You have Rome Odunze.
Yep.
They need to build that offensive line. That is where they need to go. All that money, all that cap space needs to go into protecting Caleb.
Yes. Agreed. And also make sure that you get this man developed also, because he wants to grow. He wants to be better. You could tell it by when he speaks to the media after games. He wants to get better. He wants to be a better quarterback, and that's what you like to see from your rookie. You love to see that.
100%. So Caleb Williams will be with Ben Johnson. I think that's a match made in heaven. I just wish that they would make these matches a year previous, a year prior. And what I mean by that is, I would have threw the book at him last year and had Ben Johnson draft Caleb Williams.
Yeah, yeah.
Because when you're not marrying the coach to the quarterback, it gives the coach a built-in excuse. If in a year or 2 years things aren't working, you're like, oh, I didn't draft him. This is not my pick.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good point.
Caleb can be generational. I just hate not marrying the coach to the quarterback. That bothers me at all levels.
That's a good point. But the Bears will be in a better situation because of the hire. Plus, another thing I want to say, that Bears defense wasn't that far off from where they needed to be as well. So, like I said, I think it's a good hire. I always take the wait and see approach, but I don't know if the right hire yet. But let's give it some time and see. And they also need to.
They're going to name their defensive coordinator, right? You know who that's going to be?
Yeah. And I'm cool with Dennis Allen. As a DC, I'm cool with Dennis Allen. I'm just not cool with him as a head coach. He's a definition of a coordinator that should always be a coordinator. Because when you're head coach, you're responsible for everything when you're a head coach. But as a defensive coordinator, I've got no problem with Dennis Allen. None. He just has no business being a head coach.
But the reason I think it's such a great hire is because you're a first-time head coach in Ben Johnson, and you're bringing in a guy that has head coaching experience.
Yep.
It helps you kind of like he don't need to be the head coach, but like if Ben Johnson runs into something the first time, feels like he might be a little overwhelmed. You got a guy on staff.
He's got a guy on staff that can help him. Yep. And I have no problem with him. Like I said, as a DC and as a consultant to Ben Johnson in times of need, I got no problem with Dennis Allen. He just don't need to be the head coach. That's my only issue with Dennis Allen.
The Vikings gave Kevin O'Connell a multi-year extension. Well-deserved?
I think so, for what they did this year, for what they did with Sam Darnold. I think it was well-deserved. For what they did with Sam Darnold this year, because Sam Darnold, we've seen Sam Darnold just fail and be a flop with other teams. He made that man, he made that man serviceable, if not better. So yeah, it's well-deserved.
I completely agree with you. And then let's get into it, right? NFC conference championship games, NFC championship, AFC championship. Got the Philadelphia Eagles hosting the Washington Commanders. Now I want to read something out to you real quick. I seen this earlier and I thought it was very interesting. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up for you real quick.
Okay.
And it's the quarterbacks in the divisional round. Now, granted, I don't think Jalen Hurts had the greatest game this past week in the snow.
No.
Josh Allen was 16 of 22 for 127 yards, rushed the ball 10 times for 20 yards in a 27-25 win in not snow. It was like light snow, maybe.
Light snow. Yeah.
Jalen Hurts was 15 of 20 for 128 yards, 10 carries for 70 yards, and a touchdown. And it was mid. Josh Allen's MVP. It's better than Lamar Jackson.
I agree. And I'm going to get some flack back for that, but I agree.
I just don't understand how one guy is the MVP and the other guy's mid. He's the one costing his team the game. I just don't. What am I missing? Jalen Hurts. By the way, Jalen Hurts had 2 balls that were perfectly thrown.
Double deflect.
One that should have been caught for a touchdown by A.J. Brown.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one that where the guy headhunted Devontae Smith. Of course, he dropped the ball. You got the 15-yard penalty, but that was another 40 yards. Yep. You had those 80 yards. Jalen Hurts threw for 200 yards.
Yeah. It's hate, though. It's hate. I got a lot of guys on my show that don't like Jalen Hurts because he's a former Alabama quarterback. They don't look at what his potential truly is. And he's a very good quarterback in a very good system. I think they win that game. No disrespect to the Commanders, but it's just hate. It's just hate for Alabama quarterback. And some people may see that Jalen Hurts shouldn't be where he is. He shouldn't be in that position, but he is. And that's something that you're going to have to accept and deal with.
I just want to let Jeremy know we are actually live. Thank you. I do want to ask you this question before we get into the Eagles Commanders real quick, just because the conversation kind of led us here. Josh Allen was 16 to 22 for 127. He had 10 carries for 20 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had 147 yards and 2 touchdowns altogether, a 71 QBR, 86 quarterback rating.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar Jackson was 18 to 25 for 254 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. He also fumbled the ball, so 2 turnovers.
He did.
85.8 quarterback rating, 85.8 QBR, 114.4 quarterback rating. I watched that game, and I remember saying on Sideline to Sideline Thursday night, I will make my decision on who the 3rd best quarterback in football is based off of this football game. I can't do that yet.
Yeah.
I can't definitively say Josh Allen is past Lamar Jackson or Lamar Jackson is past Josh Allen based off that performance. Because I felt like Mark Andrews spoiled that for us.
Yeah.
Mark Andrews dropping the 2-point conversion, fumbling the ball.
Yeah.
I can't definitively say that.
Well, to me,
I watched that football game. I thought Lamar Jackson played better football than Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm. To me, and I know he was coming off an injury at the beginning of the season for Mark, and it took him a minute to get acclimated or whatnot. But first of all, I do feel for Mark a little bit because that 2-point conversion drop is a catch he makes 9 times out of 10. So I do sort of kind of feel for Mark in that regard. But you're right. These 2 guys,
it might be 99 out of 100. Will it might be 99 out of 100?
Yeah, he makes that catch. But yeah, you're right. You can't really use this game to differentiate yourself between the 2 quarterbacks and far who's number 3. You really can't do it. Not off of this game.
How about Chris Sims going on ESPN yesterday saying that he blames Lamar Jackson a little bit for the drop by Mark Andrews?
I don't blame Lamar Jackson. Why?
It hit him in the stomach. It hit him between the numbers.
Why? That's dumb.
He threw it late. He didn't throw it on time, and then he threw a dart.
Whatever. No, that's not Lamar's fault. That's not Lamar's fault. No.
Chris Sims.
No. If anybody I blame for that Ravens loss is Todd Monken. I'm still trying to figure out the game he called. I'm still trying to figure that out. How you're not going to give Derrick Henry the ball 25, 30 times to wear that Buffalo defense down?
Yeah.
Come on now.
84 yards and a touchdown.
Come on now.
I can't argue with anything they did in the second half, though. I can't.
No. But that first half, you need to establish, and then you can run off the play action afterward.
This was their second half, right? This is the Baltimore Ravens second half. Remind you, they're down 21-10.
Yep.
Field goal, and there was I believe there was like a penalty like that kind of pushed them back, or maybe a sack. But field goal on their first drive, touchdown, fumble by Mark Andrews. Drive there, touchdown, drop 2-point conversion.
Remember, they didn't have Zay Flowers for this game.
That was their second half.
You remember, they didn't have Zay Flowers for this game either. So,
all right, Eagles Commanders. How do you see this game playing out? Who do you think wins and why?
Eagles should win. I think that they're healthy on defense for the most part. They don't have the same injuries that the Detroit Lions had. They should win this game. They got they're a small but quick defense that I think can keep it with Jaden Daniels. I don't think they'll make the same mistake the Tampa Bay Buccaneers made when they tried to put two spy on Jaden. I think they'll just come up with one. And I think they'll win. Look, man, I hate Austin Eckler. I hope they stop him. Brian Robertson, he might do something, but I just think that Eagles defense is gonna come through. On the other side of the ball, I don't trust the Redskins secondary for nothing. I don't trust that secondary for nothing. AJ Brown and Devontae Smith might eat. I don't trust that secondary. Saquon's gonna do his thing between the tackles. I just got the Eagles winning this game. It won't be a blowout. It'll be something respectable, something like 20-14. But I just can't see the Commanders winning this game. I can't. That defense is too good, and that offense, I think is going to come to play.
One thing I didn't hear you mention, and I want to bring this up: Sam Cosmi, right guard, probably best offensive lineman for the Washington Commanders, tore his ACL versus the Detroit Lions.
That's gonna hurt too.
The right guard is the one that goes up against Jalen Carter.
I'm about to say that. Yep, Jalen Carter might.
Jalen Carter is going to have a double team sent at him every play.
Yep. With
a backup right guard and a center that he has absolutely abused throughout his career, Tyler Badaz, former Dallas Cowboys center last year, center for the Washington Commanders this year.
Again. Just like Notre Dame, the Commanders are a great story. If they get there, that's a fantastic story. But I just think this is where their run ends.
I agree. Also, obviously, I'm an Eagles fan, but I think the Eagles win this battle in the trenches.
Mm-hmm.
I think they win this battle basically. And what Dan Quinn has done for years is bottle up Jalen Hurts. He's been very good at that.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like the first quarter of the game in Washington, you were seeing the Eagles develop past that, right? They had 21 points in the first quarter at Washington. They were moving the ball effectively. And then one of the dirtiest players in football, Frankie Louvu, dives on Jalen Hurts' head and gives him a concussion. The same Frankie Louvu that put Hurts in the concussion protocol when they played in Philadelphia and obviously cleared it in Philadelphia on Amazon Prime. The same Frankie Louvu that knocked Jared Goff out of the game, headhunting, looking for him on that interception. If the Eagles keep Jalen Hurts healthy and his knee is not crazy bad where he can be mobile, I don't see a way they lose the football game.
No, I don't either.
Jaden Daniels has had the greatest rookie season I've ever witnessed, going to the NFC Championship game. But when you look at the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Commanders, and let's just say I give the edge at quarterback to the Commanders, I don't know another spot on the football field I give the edge to the Commanders, maybe linebackers.
Maybe tight end.
No.
Maybe tight end with Zach Ertz.
Dallas Goedert or Zach Ertz. The Eagles moved on from Zach Ertz for Dallas Goedert.
This is true.
Goedert just stiff-armed. They just stiff-armed somebody into the shadow realm.
But that's the only matchup on offense I can really think that they might have a shot. That's all, because I think they're gonna lock down everybody. Noah Brown, I think he's gonna be made ineffective. That's the only spot I really see the Commanders can really match up with the Eagles. That's the only spot I see.
The Eagles' corners are able to control the Commanders' wide receivers without blitzing.
Yep.
Detroit could not. Detroit had to blitz. And you seen what Cliff Kingsbury did that entire game. He goes, I'm going to run 3 wide receivers on the left side, and I'm going to have a read option for my quarterback. So it's basically a triple option. And when you can't play zone versus a triple option.
No.
So he's forcing the Lions to play man defense. And when they played zone and they blitzed, they got burnt.
I think
all I look at in that play, hold on, that Terry McLaurin bubble screen that went 58 yards to the house, that was the worst call defense by Aaron Glenn ever.
Yeah.
Like, you can't call zone there. They have a 3 wide receiver set. They left one quarterback on an island.
It's gotta be man.
Terry McLaurin. Can't do that.
Gotta be man. But I just think that I just don't see how the Commanders win. I think McLaurin, I think Noah Brown gets locked up. I don't like Austin Eckler, but he might make a little noise, maybe come out the backfield. I catching passes. I just can't see anything else that the Commanders would be able to do to be able to get down and score enough to beat the Eagles. I just don't see it.
I completely agree with you.
I just don't see it.
I love the.
I mean,
always like to hear everybody else's.
Zach might do something because this is a kind of like a come home game for Zach Ertz. But I just can't see what other matchup that the Commanders really have, and the linebackers can cover Zach. So I just don't see it. Great story though. If they do pull off the win, great story.
Oh, don't! I don't want to hear a story.
Oh my gosh! But I just don't think it happens. I can't see it. I can't see it.
I don't want to hear stories.
Oh man!
All right. Well, next game on the docket. This is the game.
Yep.
Kansas City Chiefs.
How's that game scheduled, by the way? Is it the first or second game that day?
Oh, the Eagles are at 3:00.
Mm-hmm.
The AFC Championship's at 6:30.
Oh, okay.
In Arrowhead.
I'll be home.
Game.
Yeah.
It's going to be cold.
Oh yeah.
Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, the trilogy. I mean, in reality, it's the sequel this year, right?
Yep.
This is the only game Patrick Mahomes lost this year was at Buffalo.
Yep.
How do you see this one playing out?
The fan in me wants to see the Bills. That's the fan in me talking. Big fan of James Cook. I want to see I want to see him get some Super Bowl success under his belt. But that Kansas City defense is playing well. And the offense, I think, will do just enough to get the win in this one, but it's going to be close. It's not going to be a blowout by either side for any means. It's going to be a close game. Buffalo's defense is playing well also. So I think it's going to be close, but I got KC. But the fan in me wants the Bills to win. But I don't see them getting it done either. Chris Jones is just playing like a madman right now. And I think he can cause some havoc and some disruption. They're gonna make Josh Allen into more of a runner, and people might say what they want, but no. I think they're gonna cause some disruption, cause some mistimings, and I just think that KC's defense is gonna pull them through.
You know, I don't necessarily disagree with you, right? But like, my notion is be bold, right? I'm always on that bold train. Now, being bold would actually be picking the Kansas City Chiefs because by betting percentage, 72% of the American public has bet the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, yeah, because of the hate.
66% of the American public has bet the Washington Commanders. America wants to see Bills Commanders in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Makes me believe you might get Eagles Chiefs. But here's where I think things break down. I said this last week. I'll say it again. And maybe this is just me being on being myself, being Gene. But no one quite circles the wagon unlike the Buffalo Bills.
I give you that. I'll give you that.
Buffalo Bills win this football game because Eagles versus Bills in New Orleans, I don't think that city can handle our fan bases. There's going to be a lot of tables that get broken. I think that would be the greatest fandom Super Bowl ever. Mm-hmm. Eagles fans are crazy. We're drunk. We're climbing, grease the poles out here so we can't climb the light poles. Bills fans are jumping through tables that are lit on fire. I think that New Orleans needs Eagles Bills. I think that's the matchup, right?
Yeah.
Hard-nosed, blue-collar,
Blue
cold
chipper.
weather. What?
And you got blue chippers out on both teams too.
I would love to see Jalen Carter get his hands on Josh Allen to see if Josh Allen can break out. Josh Allen breaks so many tackles.
He does.
I want to see that, right? I want to see Eagles Bills because even if and I say this now, right? But I guarantee you the week of the Super Bowl or a week of the game, I'll feel differently.
Mm.
Even if the Eagles lose that game, I would be happy for Bills Mafia. Like if the Commanders somehow beat the Eagles Sunday, I'll be rooting for Buffalo 100%. I want, out of the 4 teams remaining, if I was picking who I'd want to win the Super Bowl, I'd go Eagles, obviously 1, but number 2 would easily be the Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo Bills.
I feel like that fan base deserves it.
And shout out to Buffalo too, because at the beginning of the season, I know you remember this, they went through some salary cap issues and had to shred some good players off that roster. So shout out for them to even making it this far, despite losing some good key personnel.
No one quite circles the wagon, unlike the Buffalo Bills.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think it's going to be a very, very fun championship weekend. I think both games are close. I think you're at the edge of your seat on both games. Dude, I'll tell you right now, it's the agony. The Eagles are incredible for me to talk about for 6.5 days. But during the football game, I am a mess. I'm the worst. Like if you had a guy in my house with a camera watching me watch the Eagles, shit would be must-see TV. I would do a live reaction, but I'd break my laptop. I threw a vitamin water across the room and it hit my door into my kitchen during the game. When the Eagles had that safety, when the Commanders got the safety, I threw something across the room.
Dang.
I only allow certain people over my house, Will, to watch the football game. I can't talk to people that don't know what they're watching.
Right.
Like you're not allowed over. You can't sit here. So you have Eagles Chiefs. I have Eagles Bills. So it'll be Commanders Bills, right? I'm just kidding.
Hey, I know a lot of people want to see that. I know I got a couple of guys in my group that want to see that.
I don't.
They want to see Jaden Daniels move on to the Super Bowl. I want to see next season and see because Jaden Daniels has all this tape out on him now. So I want to see if he can continue this run next season. That's what I want to see.
Okay.
Because there's a bunch of tape out on him now, and I want to see what a good defensive coordinator can do now that he's well scouted.
CJ Stroud.
Yeah, could be.
Or slump.
Could be.
I think Cliff Kingsbury probably ends up getting a job, maybe in Las Vegas. That's what I projected before. So if Cliff Kingsbury, they lose their offensive coordinator, get the job in Vegas.
Yep.
Last topic, and then we'll wrap up. Once again, selfish topic, Will. I only go on the show once a week. I get to be as selfish as I want to be.
Gotcha.
Last night, Denver Nuggets beat the Philadelphia 76ers 144-109.
I watched some of that.
Joel Embiid didn't play again. He's out for 7 to 10 days. I'm going to the game Friday night, Will.
What is it, knee soreness?
I at risk of saying the wrong thing on national streaming sports on Roku, I will not answer what I think it is. If you've ever watched The Wizard of Oz and you've dealt with the Cowardly Lion or the Scarecrow,
yeah,
with no heart,
yeah,
I'd like to hear your thoughts, because to me, as a 76ers fan, I want 4 guys on the 76ers team, and I want to blow up the rest. Get Paul George.
What 4 do you want to keep?
4 I want to keep.
What 4 do you want to keep?
Tyrese Maxey.
Okay, makes sense.
Jarrett McCain, rookie.
Makes sense.
That's on IR the rest of the year. Yabusele. Give me the French.
That makes sense too.
Love me some Yabusele and Caleb Martin.
Yeah.
I'm a big Caleb Martin fan, Nevada kid. I remember watching him and his brother play. I'm not sure how much was it UNLV or Nevada? Hold on, let me just get the. I don't want to say that wrong. I feel like an idiot if I say it wrong. but I'm pretty sure it was Nevada.
Mm. But those names make sense.
He played. Whoa, no. Nevada Wolfpack. There you go.
Okay.
I remember watching him and his brother on that run to almost to the Final Four.
Mm-hmm.
I love Caleb Martin. Love the way he plays basketball, but this 76ers team, am I wrong to say just blow it up? I'm done.
You're not wrong.
I would be all right going back to the process, bro. Get Embiid out of here. Ben Simmons, a wasted draft pick. Markelle Fultz, a wasted draft pick. When they drafted for 5 straight years, and they drafted Embiid, Okafor, Simmons, Markelle Fultz, like they literally just told you, we don't care about heart. We don't care about if you want to play basketball. We don't care. Like every one of those players, what do they all have in common? They're soft.
Yeah.
Markelle Fultz, Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, Jahlil Okafor.
Yeah.
And then they make a great draft pick. They draft Mikal Bridges. His mom works for the organization.
Mm-hmm.
And trade him 6 picks later to the Phoenix Suns.
Makes no sense.
For a guy you've never heard of.
Makes no sense.
For a guy you've never heard of.
Makes no sense to me. I will be fine with blowing it up too, because you haven't shown a potential the wherewithal to field a solid team that wants to go out there and play each and every week. I fell out of favor with Joel Embiid when he said I'm not playing back-to-backs. I was done with him at that point. But yeah, you bring up a good point. Keep Tyrese Maxey and build around him. But you have some access that you can trade to do that. So I'll be all right blowing it up too, because at some point you have to put a winning team together just to keep your fan base, with you. And right now they're not showing that they're putting a good product in front of them. And I never understood the Paul George thing. I mean, Mo will tell you, I'm not a Paul George fan. Mo will tell you that all day long. But I never understood why you went out and traded for this man when he's basically done nothing, either because of injury or performance. So I never understood why you made that move to bring him onto your roster. Why? He's shown you nothing. He hasn't shown you winning basketball. Even when he was at OKC, he didn't really show it then. I just don't get why they made that move.
I just do want to give you an update. The player that the 76ers traded for Mikal Bridges, he has played 4 games this year for a Cleveland G League affiliate. He's started none of them. He's averaging 5.5 points a game. Zaire Smith for Mikal Bridges. Are you guys out of your friggin' mind?
And look at Mikal Bridges. He's a good player.
I'm done. Thank you guys for tuning in this week to Coffee and Sports. We'll be back tomorrow. My man Will I Am with Mo Betta tomorrow morning, Thursday morning. Tune in tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Wire to Wire Sports Podcast. Will, plug the Geek Gauntlet Podcast. Plug anything you need to plug. We got the last 30 seconds on you.
Thank you, sir. Real quick. If you like geek entertainment, if you like anime, if you like comics, if you like video games, please join me for the Geek Gauntlet Podcast every Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. We're on YouTube, we're on Twitch, we're on Facebook, and we're also on the Feast of Fandoms Network. So definitely join us there. And last but not least, Monday nights, the Sports Report Podcast at 10 p.m. Eastern. Me, 7 in the crew. We talk baseball, football, basketball. We bring all of it to a perspective. So definitely check us out every Monday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
Appreciate you guys tuning in today. Wire to Wire Sports Podcast, Wire to Wire Sports Network. We are signing.